Scorpio, this is all about you. This is your weekly oracle and tarot card reading for Born Without Boundaries. Here is where you'll find the energy reading for all Scorpio, sun, moon, rising, wherever Scorpio influences your life, including if you're dealing with a Scorpio. So it could be affecting you outside your life. But this is part one. The extended reading is part two, and I hope you join me for that. The link is down below. That is a full tarot card spread that elaborates and goes into detail and personalizes the information and the themes that we discover or uncover here in the energy reading. And then, of course, it also includes a romantic prediction and advice as well. So head on over there if you're looking for that. And if you're looking for love, Scorpio, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel and be sure to ring that bell, because then you will get all the uploads as soon as they're ready, because I do a new Scorpio specific video every single week. And I also do a lot of lives, so you'll be notified and you'll be able to join in. Let's get into your reading, Scorpio. Be fearless and bold. Are you guys dealing with an Aries? Somebody may be cocky, somebody may be arrogant, but for some reason they turn you on regardless of the fact. This is an energy that is tremendously powerful and self-assured and will keep on coming. And perhaps that's why you like them so much, because Scorpios, much like Cancers, have a hard time opening up to people. And a lot of times, and I will say this, not to say that you're dealing with anybody who's wrong for you, but Scorpios, a lot of times, especially Scorpios and Cancers, and Aquariuses, ironically, end up dealing with people who are getting into relationships with people who are not right for them, simply because those people had the balls to show interest in them. And as a rule, we tend to shut down and not want to leave ourselves vulnerable for rejection. And so we don't allow people to see that we're interested in them, and in a lot of ways that can cut us off, that can make us limited in who we can interact with, because who we're limited to then are the people who have the nerve to actually talk to us. And depending on how fine your ass is, sometimes it's hard for people to talk to you, nobody wants to be vulnerable. It's very difficult for good people to take the chance, because, they're not full of themselves. So there's an energy of you might be being approached by, or somebody is coming towards you that is very, very bold, very brash, very confident in what they want. Whether they're an Aries or not, they have a self-assured sense about them. This is also speaking to a suggestion, Scorpio, that you incorporate this energy, and that incorporating this energy, and not even thinking of it as making yourself vulnerable, but just thinking of it as, I know what I want, and that's what I'm going to get. That's what it is. It's almost like I'm invulnerable, so I'll take any chance that's offered to me. That's that sense. With Aries energy, it's almost like invulnerability. Like they're just possessed by a sense of self. This strength that is determination personified. And why do I say this? I don't say this to change you or to think that it's kind of easy and you can all of a sudden snap into this in one day, but you kind of can if you play pretend, if you make believe for a second that nothing can go wrong. Like what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? You've heard that old line, right? What would you do if you knew that you couldn't fail? What chance would you take? And that could very well be the chance or the message that you're being spurred toward this week is, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail, Scorpio? Also, though, this could be somebody approaching you. And I'm just going to say, I'm not saying watch out because they're a bad person. I'm saying watch out because we really do undermine our choice in people based on the fact that we insist other people make the first move, but not only make the first move, make the second move, make the third move, make the follow-up phone call just to be sure that they're really interested. And then it's not really us understanding that on the other side, there could be insecurities too. And we could be missing out on a lot of really lovely people who just happen to be like as insecure as we are. You always hear like Scorpio and Cancers make such perfect mates. But so few times do they actually come together. And the reason is neither of them are willing to make the first move. So they always end up like two ships passing in the night. Love and destiny doesn't hit them often because neither of them is willing to open up and be the one that actually says something or makes the first move. So I'm not saying that you're dealing with a Cancer. I'm not even saying that you're dealing with an Aries. But what I am saying is lots of times we get backed up, and it's kind of sexy when people come after us and we know that they want us and we feel in control. But simultaneously, we are inviting somebody who always wants to be in control and somebody who's always gonna be after us. And yes, after the great sex for the first few months has worn itself out, that mentality can be very difficult to live with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, are you getting the right one? Are you attracting the right people? Or are you just taking the good sex where it comes and the excitement where it comes, and it always ends up sort of falling apart after all of that goes away because you needed somebody to make the first move. And people who make the first move, they know what they want, they have a lot of confidence, but they may not be able to connect with you on that psychic, emotional level that you really, 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 really want. So just know that you will be approached by somebody very bold and very sexy and very confident. And this could be the love of your life and your dream come true. Or it could be, this could be your energy, the energy saying, hey, I'm ready to be bold. I'm ready to make that first move. I'm ready to go out there and get what I want out of life. Because this does not have to be romance. Remember, this isn't a romance reading. This doesn't have to be romance energy, Scorpio. 100%. This could be what's your goal? What do you want? What do you want out of life? Now get out there and do it. Now, Badger Spirit doesn't think twice. He doesn't think, what if I go broke? He doesn't think, what if I'm not comfortable? He doesn't think, what if, no, he thinks, there's what I want. That's what I'm getting. And whatever kind of bombs he has to roll through or bullets he needs to dodge, he just does. He just takes the hits as they come, dodges what he has to, crawls over what he has to, all the while remaining fiercely focused on his end goal. And that's what you're being called to embody and embrace this week. Now, why? Because this is your crowning energy, Scorpio. So why is this your crowning energy? Why are you being asked? Why? It's a good question, right? Let's see. Okay, so maybe you are dealing with a Cancerian, somebody who is too shy to say it. This time we both know what's been going on. But see, this is barriers, this is walls, this is boundaries being put up. And this is the only way to break out of these boundaries. Forget about breaking through, you gotta break out. Okay, it's a sense of, this is the kind of energy that you don't necessarily want in your life either. Somebody that you're always gonna have to like make the first move on. I had a discussion with one of my best friends. She told me all about one of her really good friends. And she was just in a loveless marriage. 15 years they've been together. And she's like, I am so sick of always having to make all the decisions between us. I'm so sick of it. And she admitted from the very beginning, he was that kind of person that always said, baby, what do you want? Baby, what do you want? You make the decisions. And at first it felt good because she felt really in control. But then it's like 15 years later when she's still responsible for everything, she's just like, no, I don't always want to be in charge. And I get it, it gets to be a huge burden. So what we're looking for is an equal, right? What we're looking for is somebody who can open up to us. But this is a sense of an energy of somebody who is really defensive, so shy. Look how cute this is. Look how cute. They're drawing you in. They're drawing you closer. But Scorpio, there's also a sense of, do you want to always have to chase? Do you always want to have to put all that energy in? Now, you know when you're first excited to meet somebody, if this person is brand new, they're just coming into your life, there is a sense of, yeah, you're going to go for it. You're going to go after it. But also be wary of too bold, too docile, you know what I'm saying? It's like, this is Cancerian energy. Somebody's being defensive, somebody's playing hard to get. Maybe it's you, maybe it's them. Somebody's scared, somebody's going out there with all their armor on. Somebody is battle ready, but at the same time, that's a heavy burden. right? That's a heavy burden. So you could also be dealing with a lot of burdens, past relationships, past situations, PTSD, a lot of burdens that are on you, kind of slowing down your progress. And then we have reclaim your power. So this has come out upside down, which means a diminished sense of self, a sense of I'm not good enough. You know, I'm scared. I'm scared to move forward. I'm scared to let them see. I'm scared to let them know. I'm scared to put in that application. You know, I'm scared to like move to where I want to go. This is a sense of not necessarily fear, but low self-esteem. Like really it's stemming from not feeling like you're worth that end goal. And you could pray and you could pray and you could manifest and you could manifest, and 10 years later you still have it. Why? Because you never believed you deserved it. So this is that sense of, yeah, something is happening right now with this energy. You're on guard, you're defensive, and you're probably blocking out your opportunities because of this diminished sense of self. Yeah, it's a compromised sense of who you are. And so where you're going is compromised as well. Woo, but fear not, man, because sweet results await. So listen, you're working hard and you're going to continue to work hard because there is at least a little part of you that believes that they have something special going on here. This is something that is still in the works. It needs work, but it does have potential. So if you were in doubt or you wanted some sort of verification, here it is. Yes, it is wobbly right now. It is shaky. Like a baby deer first trying to stand, its sense of self is very compromised. But simultaneously, it is worth working for because there's a beautiful energy here of that sense of self finally becoming whole. And that sense of self maybe becoming whole and getting stronger by getting out there and doing the hard work and proving to yourself, holy crap, I did this. Maybe I am worth it. And the more that you earn, the more that you know that you're worth. And that sense of self is really going to be aided, assisted, healed, helped, and pushed forward, amplified, whatever you want to call it. It's really going to be helped by hard work. Just get into the work, focus on the work, take your focus off of yourself and put it on the work. If you can't believe in you, believe in what you do. And that's sort of like a little bit of a circumnavigation, not so that you never feel good about yourself, but it's almost like training wheels, right? It's like, I don't feel good about myself, but do I just never ride a bike? No, you got to start somewhere. So this is almost like that loop helps you. If you focus on what you do and you believe in what you do, then even if you don't believe in you, you're still putting that positive focus there. And when you get to achieving what you've done, the work and all the dedication and seeing how far you come is going to help actually train you to believe in you. So this is like that sense of self in training. It's also Leo energy. So you are working on something. Now, maybe this person that you're dealing with is working on themselves because there's the confirmation right there. There's low self-esteem. It's not that they don't want you. It's not that they don't like you. It's not that they don't think about you, but they're guarded and they probably don't feel good enough for you. So they're probably really hard at work trying to do something that would make them even be able to imagine that they could get closer to you or be good enough for you. So make your dreams real. Yeah, this is awakening. Being really hard at work and believing in yourself and basically manifesting the world around you. Spider energy is grandmother or mother energy. This could sometimes be like the fabric of our lives, you know, the smell of cotton, like the look, the feel of cotton. No, but like the tapestry, family tapestry, or inherited responsibilities being passed down. So it could be you feeling manipulated by your family, but really at the central energy, at least in the central position, this is telling me, no, this is getting to know where you come from, who you are, and really owning the responsibilities of how you move your family and yourself forward. So this is progressive energy. It's also scorpionic energy, and it's magical energy. Now remember, you have a full moon coming up on Thursday. It's actually Thursday morning, Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So that's the full moon in Scorpio. So this is your time to release anything that has become an obstacle to your progress. Now, Scorpio, you're going to get really emotional and really, really freaking psychic. And the psychic intuition is there to help expose things that may have been hidden and getting in your way. Because this is a really progressive card, but it's saying, be awakened. 5 plus 6 equals 11. So that's the energy of awakening. Being suddenly awakened to those things that are impeding you, and working, and because you realize them, in realizing them, having power over them to basically get them out of your way, fix them up, take care of them, remove those obstacles so that you can continue to build and add to the tapestry of your life. This is awakening to all your potential. Okay, this could be also somebody else awakening to their potential, somebody that is in your life. Now, that somebody that's in your life, once again, that energy of working really hard, but also being very intimidated. Now, dream the world into being 8, 9, 10, 11. And you got 11, 11 sitting right next to each other. So this is definitely awakening to all that your future is possible of being. And this could be a sense of running from the past, or being driven by the past, or having your future informed by the past, and knowing that, almost like knowing the pitfalls, or maybe seeing that history is about to repeat itself, and not wanting it to. Definitely having a sense of needing to put the past behind you in order for the future to take off and be able to be all that it can be. Okay. Damn, I wonder what's going to fly out in the extended. As I said, fly out. Here it is. So this is a sense of pretending to be something you're not. 5 plus 4 is 9. This is a sense of something has to be done. It has to be finished, letting go. A feeling like you have to impress people. A feeling like you have to pretend. A feeling like you have to dress up. Always be on point with your hair, or perfume yourself. This is a sense of really masquerading as something that you're not. Maybe even a focus on, it's a focus on the wrong things, right? Like feeling value or placing value on those shallow things that should not really make people love you, but it makes you feel more secure about yourself. It's kind of like Kylie Jenner's lips. I mean, come on now. You know those things ain't real. You know that butt ain't real. You know, because we all seen pictures of her when she was younger. Please don't tell me that all of a sudden in a year that shit grew. No, it grew in a doctor's office. But that's the sense of like not thinking that you'd be attractive unless you are a certain way, and doing all these false BS things to try to make yourself, like, work yourself over. And it's like you're not even yourself, and you're going to be attracting what we talked about in the channeled and the crowning energy. You're going to be attracting those wrong people, those cocky people, those people who are just out for the look, instead of those people who are really loving you. But there has to be a sense of confidence. Either you or who you're dealing with has to be a sense of confidence, because they're still trying to impress. They're still dressing up, trying to impress. And it's almost ending up as an impediment to a real heartfelt scenario or relationship. And this could even be like with your career as well. Trying so hard, putting all this stuff on your resume, worrying so much about how you look, or, you know, how ironed your suit is before you go into the interview, that you don't even really know, do you like the job? Do you really want this job? Is this even the career that you have a passion for and have a talent for? Those are the things that is almost like this reading is saying to me. There's like a divergence here, right? Something's pulling apart here, and I don't like it. That's all I gotta say. Ooh, Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Okay. There is always enough. This is Piscean energy, also 9, 9, 9, of knowing your worth and knowing that you are enough. Of feeling comfortable and finally coming to the surface with your truth and who you really are. Fish are fish. They're designed to swim. They can't fly. But that doesn't mean they're not worth talking to a bird. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody has a voice, and everybody is unique in their voice. So don't be afraid to show your uniqueness and let your uniqueness come to the surface, who you really are. This is feeling that these two cards next to each other, both with the energy of 9, this is your last step. This is it, because 9 is like one thing has to be added to make everything complete. Like that's the energy. So this is it. What needs to be added is knowing that you're worth it. Really knowing it, you know, like not just looking in the mirror every day. You look marvelous. You know, whatever you got to do to make yourself feel good, go the fuck ahead. But this is really knowing it, really believing it, and really owing it. That's that one thing. Remember how I said there's something's a little bit off? It's almost like a little bit of chasm that's separating you from success, whether it's with a person or etc., etc. It's that sense of self, of knowing your worth. And your worth could have been diminished a great deal by something that had happened. Remember I mentioned PTSD? Like, I get it and I know it. And as unfair as this sounds, I'm just going to say it the way that it is. We can go through the most horrible things that we had no responsibility for, but ultimately it becomes our responsibility to heal ourselves. And that may sound unfair, but don't even bog yourself down with whether or not it's fair. It's there and it has to be addressed. And that's the kind of energy and ferocity you have to go out there with this week, is like, it's there and I got to get through it. It's there. The only way out of hell is through it. And that's it. You got to get through it to do it. And this is it. This is that caveat. Whatever is impeding you from knowing your worth and value and being absolutely sure of it is what has to be addressed this week, especially over the Scorpio moon. You can have something to do with looking in the past, always, to something that happened with your father figure, somebody who loved you or cared for you or didn't love you or didn't care for you. This is a sense of remembrances and memory. This is Piscean energy, so it is the realm of mysteries as in things that follow us through our past lives into this one. So this is definitely the energy of having to deal with some reincarnated shit that you carried in with you. You may not even know where it came from, or if it happened to you in this life, you know exactly where it came from. Either way, it's got to be addressed. This is a very patient energy, however. It is saying slow down and don't move fast. Watch and wait. It's worth the wait. This is not a race, it is a marathon. So yes, get on the road today, Scorpio, but you don't have to rush it. You don't have to address everything all at once. Whew. Flipped upside down is co-create with spirit. So this is like, something, I was going to say something from the past, and maybe I should just trust that, because it's definitely something out of this time. It's not in sync. There's something off here. It's almost like it wasn't right. It had happened outside of synchronicity. And now it's like up to you. It's like you feel the disconnect. You feel the spiritual disconnect. And this is the time to sync it up again. You know, get your metronome back on that right rhythm. This is also something coming out from the past that had to do with family issues or father issues or something from the past life issues, haunting you and being beneath the surface, but not being clear enough for you to understand them. And that could have really impacted how you feel about yourself, because you just assuming like something is wrong with me. I'm missing out, I'm lacking something. It's not something that you're lacking, but it is something that you have to deal with. Life is speeding up. So here's that card from energy, from spirit, that says you can make this through. You can do this. There is a way out, and that way out is communication, because this is Gemini energy. Put two and two together. This will come together. Slow and steady wins the race, but get moving. Things are starting to uncover themselves. Things are starting to be made known and be made obvious. And listen, this is Gemini energy, so it's all about communication. It's all about speaking yourself, speaking your worth, speaking yourself, speaking your value, speaking yourself into value, speaking your value, sticking up for yourself. But more than ever, this is talking to somebody. This is confrontation, like one-on-one confrontation that has to happen. Tend to the small things. So something's been building up for a long time. That's it. That's what this card means. It has been growing small and steady, and we try to push things down and think to ourselves, oh, you know, they're nothing. I can put it away. And because you are ruled by Pluto, you have a fathomless depth of the underworld that you can hide shit in. You think, oh, what's another ghost? It's another ghost. It's another ghost that you got to be responsible for, and it's another reason why you got to stay in hell instead of rising up to heaven. So it's like, get rid of those small things have added up. All those ghosts have become your own personal hell. So that's what has to be addressed. And why is this energy coming out? Spirit has your back. This is the energy of 5, 5, it's saying this is Capricornian energy. Take the lead. Karma is here. So in other words, you're entering a new karmic cycle, and whatever you've been treated like in the past, you now have the opportunity to control what your karma will be in the future. By what moves do you make? Do you relive the past? Do you decide to consign your resign yourself to living in hell? Well, then that's the karma that you set up for the next 10 years or so, right? That's it. If you say, yeah, I'll accept it, then that's what you're going to get. But this is a very powerful moment for you now. Gemini energy, right? Cinco de Mayo, baby. The North Node is moving into Gemini. So it's speak up. Now, it's almost like speak now or forever hold your peace. This is the time to do it. This is the time to say it. Speak it into the full moon. Practice if you have to. But practice saying whatever it is that needs to come out, make that move. Because you're setting up your new karmic cycle, and Spirit is going to follow your lead. It has your back. It has your back. Spirit has your back, which means it's going to be the wind beneath your wings, but you're still at the helm. You still got to steer the ship. Which way are you going to steer it? You got the wind, but which way are you going to steer the ship? And then last but not least, we have time for a deep dive. So this is love, and this is energy of 14-5. Something is changing in terms of your love life, in terms of your home life. Something is changing. You could be dealing with a Libra. This is also Cancerian energy. The way that you see things is changing. It's almost like you're focused more on partnership. You're focused more on home. You're focused more on what does this mean to me and what does this mean to us as a family moving forward. This is your grounding energy, that strong sense of, well, I know what I want. And I know where I want to be, and I know what's important. And that's like step one for all of us, right? Scorpio, that's the energy of like, what do I want? What do I really, really want? And this is the energy of home and partnership, to really want that solid, steadfast partnership at home. Whether your home is an actual location, or if it's a relationship, or it's something that you do, knowing what it is that you want and that is important to you and making it your priority. Okay, Scorpio, I'm going to turn this camera around so we can real quick review this energy, and then we're going to go into the extended. Hold on. So what's beautiful about these energies, Scorpio, is that you really control the reins. That is also a sense of intimidation, though, however, right? Because of the fact that you do control the reins, and it becomes your responsibility, which can feel quite burdensome, especially if you're still wobbling at the knees. It's like little baby Bambi just got born and he already has to run from the hunters. It's like, Jesus Christ, my legs don't even work right yet. But it's almost like, you know what, I get it, but sink or swim, because this is the moment and this is the time. And you know what, if like, think of the Martin Luther King quote, right? If you can't walk, then crawl. If you can't crawl, no, if you can't run, then walk. If you can't run, then crawl. If you can't, hold on, stop. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you got to keep moving forward. And that's that sense of what is, first of all, choose your direction. Choose what is your forward, and set your course in, lay it in, and then get there, even on wobbly legs if you have to. So we're going to go into the extended reading, which also includes your romance reading. Meet me over there, Scorpio. I'll see you guys soon.